Okay, so maybe we can start with the first group. That was the one that was talking about, maybe Raquel was talking about how do we deal with gender issues when it becomes to an external person, client, customer, or.
So what we, as a resume, we started with one point that was in the session of the morning. Sí. So, how to concrete the debate was from the point of one of the issues that this morning we were speaking in the no mix group, is what about one female worker who goes to one house and suffer one confrontation with one conflict with the man that is receiving the packet, and began to insult the woman with specific gender insults, no? Like you are a woman, you must not be in this work, and this package is from my woman, that also for her, no, I'm doing this, and also this moment is conflictive because the man must pay the packet, so the deliverer, the rider, must to take the packet, no, and in this moment when the man go to pay to the woman, humiliate the woman, giving coin by coin the money that must be continue with insults, and so what we think as a collective, what we think together as a collective, that this situation can be treated, no? And the ideas that it was in the talk that just we have is we recognize that as a gender specific situation of vulnerability and humiliation or not, no? That are the questions that we made. We think that this is gender violence or something that we need to treat. We need to treat it as an individual worker, or we need to think as a collective together to reduce the risks that our colleagues are in our cooperatives, or we need to think that we need one protocol to treat this situation, no? That are the questions that we had made. And some of the questions that we discuss, we debate, is that this is one holistic situation in the society. We think that this is something that we commonly live like workers as females in our society, or and if the response is yes, if as a workers we are doing something alternative, like to socialize one app, why cannot go further also and think that this is a collective problem that we need to solve, no? And progress, no? And transform also, and not normalize and reproduce the situation that females feel. And so there were also other kind of issues that are important about this kind of situations, no? For example, if the female worker in this specific moment, in one conflict with Eastern people, responds the person and lost the costume, the client, what effect have in your cooperative because you lost one client. So we were thinking that maybe some female workers don't respond these aggressions directly because they are thinking in our colleagues to don't lose the client. So we identified that this is one kind of solidarity, first solidarity that you have. And if we put this in common, we tried that all the collective of our colleagues, the cis male, think also, and that is one problem that we need to solve together, no? So then we thought that have one protocol maybe can help in this situation, no? For example, one protocol, what is? That if you are in front of one client that is insult you, and being aggressive with you, if I say, sorry, I will not deliver the package and I go, this is something that everybody is agree that can be in the protocol, no? Even if the consequences are that we will not be paid for that. Yeah, if this is one normal client, okay, but if we are thinking that is a big client, we can support don't lose this client, no? Is one question that also comes, no? So it was the proposition that maybe instead of one protocol, put it one sentence in the policy of in the email that you are with the client, and directly put it in the conditions of the delivery to announce to the client that it will be ¿cómo se dice? No se va a soportar, no se va a ser posible, ¿cómo se dice?
It's not going to be possible.
It will be no allowed to no soportar los insultos o agresiones, ¿cómo se dice eso?
No admitted.
Eso, admitted.
Yeah, we don't admit this kind of behavior.
Yeah, so it's not a protocol. It was this idea that don't be in the protocol, but be directly in the policy of the email. So in this case, if one situation like we were explaining, no, you can ask for the money. You can take the money from the client, even if you don't put the packages, no, if you don't deliver the packet, because of the aggression, no. Then other ideas was to maybe the limit with the bleed clients like Dutcher, etc. How, if they have one protocol for these situations, because in this case, in the case specific that we were speaking, the client was not direct client of the cooperative, but the cooperative was doing one delivery from a big transport, no, a big enterprise, no, international or national enterprise, no. So maybe try to delimit with this big, when we have some accords with these big enterprises, delimit how is the methodology to work, no? No a protocol, ask if they have one protocol, in case of no, to try to have one protocol or one methodology to know what to do in these situations, no? Other idea was directly to prevent the deliveries and mark with a red stick the addresses where we know that there are somebody with one bad behavior. For everybody was know that here is somebody with a bad behavior, no? We were also speaking about in the group that we were seven males, cis males, and 5 females. Difference in the development of the work, difference that we notice if you are a man, if you are a woman. For example, we asked how who was invited in the house of the client when you deliver a package. How of them were invited to enter, no? And two of the women that, no, two, they say that in this year are several times invited to enter with sexual attitude in the houses of the clients. And in the other part, in between these 7 cis males, only one times in 13 years happens when to be invited to enter in the house of the client with sexual attitude. So we see that there are one difference in the development of the works. One of the female worker has also one spray to defend when she was in other enterprise, no? So in the session of this evening, we saw that there are differences if you are man or if you are female in the development of the work, no? And also we question if we ring the bell when you are delivering, if you enter in the building or not because of the own safety, no? Because we saw also that this is problematic. If you are a woman, you don't want to go up to deliver the package. And if you are a male, maybe there is not an important question, but we notice that is something related to safety also. Mm-hmm. So, we notice that should be good to have one methodology, one protocol, whatever, but one collective solution or methodology to protect the risk of females workers in relation of safety of the body. But also, we said that it's important to repair the humiliation and the vulnerability that the female workers suffer when somebody in front of you question your tu fuerza, ¿cómo es? Or in this case, your attitude when you are delivering. I think that this is, and also one question is if CoopCycle has an external professional help or something similar to act in this situation of really risk for the women or humiliation for the female workers. I don't know if somebody that was in the gathering can add something that I forgot. As a resume, because we were speaking about a lot of things.
Sí, lo de las stickers.
Lo de esto rojo, sí, lo he dicho.
No, es que repítelo.
Lo de to put a red stick, no, in the clients that have.
Le pintamos la puerta.
Sí, something like with the intention to prevent and to make information to all of us.
No, okay, por lo menos estés avisada.
Yeah, to be advised when you are going to know that in these houses can be you can be treated, and even we were speaking that how much can be this situation, like this situation is transformed in fear of the workers, no? Because when you go to deliver in one house where you know that you will be treated not appropriately, the female workers are with fear, thinking that that they can close the door, no, and you can be so, and you cannot develop your work in good conditions. That is, I think.
Okay, so thank you. Can you pass me the?
Sí. ¿Qué? Ah, sí.
There was something that I think it was very interesting when some of you mentioned, but maybe you can explain, was this idea of, what can I say, of challenging like the practices, like for example, how deliveries perform, and also like in some cases, like the fact that you wanted to change the perception of non-cis workers in the sector, and you wanted to even like try to communicate it. I don't know if you want to speak about this, not you, but I think it's something that you speak for a while, and maybe you want to share it. Cuando hablaban de, por ejemplo, una posible campaña de imágenes de reparto de
sí.
trabajadoras non-cis, y que incluso había casos en los que se quería promover esa imagen de la cooperativa porque había más miembros que no non-cis, pero como no hay tiempo para hacer comunicación, como que era una intencionalidad que queríais quizás promover para mostrar a largo plazo, no sé, explicarlo mejor vosotras, pero me parecía algo interesante.
Sí, bueno, in fact, it's Luis, no, who said that maybe something that can be done to visibilize the female worker sector is, or this intention that we have to think collectively or together, no, about the special circumstance that the female workers have, is change the communication of the cooperatives and try to visibilize female workers doing her job. And that is something that in some of the, that can be good with. Sí, pienso que era esto, ¿no? No sé si Luis want to say something.
We talked about the possible GDPR problem about the information on that person having a red mark that he may be this person may be dangerous. So there is a general GDPR problem maybe. And I see another question is how this information will be updated. Someday this person will move or this person will change. And the information should also be maintained.
Sí. See, we were not developed the case of what to do if we put these red sticks, no? Because of course it was just one idea that was exposed, but anyway we can think in also in some tool or mechanism to prevent the workers, the female workers, if it's not one red stick, that maybe appoint the client. Other thing that can prevent.
Maybe a list inside the cooperative. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's a lot of addresses, but maybe it's some of it, not that many. So we can have a list inside the cooperative. No, I don't know. It's
Like for me,
but I think that we will have time, not that much, but tomorrow we will have time to discuss about what to put inside the protocol.
Yeah.
So I'm writing all the ideas, so tomorrow we will have time to decide which ones are actually practicable.
Sorry, I forgot the idea of the red button in the app of CoopCycle, because when female women feel in danger, we have no time to write in the telephone. So one easy action like to push the button can be easier and save time to react for the rest of the collective. Yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea.
Okay, thank you.
¿Poquito?
Sí, ¿cómo va esto?
Con la pinza. Ay. Vale. So, may you explain the second group about how to manage gender issues and internal conflicts in the cooperatives? Probably my favorite topic.
Okay. So we wrote down a lot of stuff. It's not very well organized because we wrote it down as we were speaking. First question, we, the non-male couriers that were in the group, asked the male couriers, like, what do they think about seeing a woman doing this job or a non-male identity? They all think it's very cool, which is very nice. But then we started to speak about situations in which we maybe see ourselves at some point, like a male is telling you how to do your job, or they are judging your job, like even complimenting you, like, hey, you were good today, or hey, you did a good day, or you did a good shit. And that is, even though it's a nice compliment, is someone that is watching over your job, over your work, or is someone that is telling you how to do your work. And we realized that the men in the group haven't really gone through these experiences. Like, this is something in which women, we are more exposed to, because somehow society feels more free to invade, maybe not the word invade, but to go into our personal spaces and have an opinion about what we do or how we do it. So this is also important. Then we came deeper in which what happens when you have a conflict with someone that is part of the same cooperative as you, when it's someone from the organization, not someone from the outside of the organization. And first thing we realize is that it's very difficult when you have a problem with a colleague that might be your friend, and he might be the friend of the rest of the people in the organization. So we are not only talking about co-workers' problems, we are also talking about friends' problems. And then we came up with the idea of having a protocol. Like, what would we think about having a protocol to handle these situations? So we thought that a protocol could be good, so we can define the situations that are considered harassment or violent or left aside by non-cis male couriers in an organization. So if we write down which kind of situations do we consider violent, it's easier for everybody to realize what are they doing, what are we doing as an organization. And then in this part, we talk about something that is called violence meter. That is, we found it on the internet, and it's something that it goes from red to yellow to, from green to yellow to red. And it's like defined in different situations. Some of them are green flags, some of them are yellow flags, and some of them are red flags. And that means describing situations can help the members of an organization, of a cooperative, to actually identify themselves with what they are doing and the things that they are bringing into the organization. We also realize that having a protocol takes the problem from being a personal problem to being a problem of the cooperative towards the rule. I mean, it takes out the personal point of view of the problem. If I come up with this situation and then we have a protocol, it's not my problem anymore. It's the problem of the cooperative towards the rule that everybody signed up and the manifesto everybody is agreed with. So it makes it easy to go into the problem and to solve the problem. Then we thought about which situations would be violent, I don't know, sexist jokes, checking someone else's phone, judging others' work. And then we understood that the effect of what you do is more important than the intention in which you do it. Because you might not have bad intention when you talk about something or when you do something. But the person you are doing it to might get it as violent or as something that is like shocking or something that is like not nice. And then we realized that the effect is what matters. And then we thought, okay, how can we then work in the effects? Because if the person that did the thing is not doing it with a bad intention, we have a problem here. So then we came to this thing that I think is beautiful, that working in a cooperative, on one hand, of course, it's important to make profit so you can live out of that. But it's also important to take care of the other side of the cooperative. And the other side of the cooperative is the social part of it, and it's the part of it as a group. And as a group, we understood that having a protocol needs to be based on the idea that everybody in this organization is willing to open themselves, to listen to each other, to learn to each other, and therefore to change together and to grow together. So if we are able to follow these processes, we will be able to put the cooperative over ourselves. And that will mean that we are able to grow together. We are able to develop not only the cooperative, but also the humans that are inside the cooperative together. And that will give the cooperative a further meaning rather than only making profit out of the delivering packages, which is what we do. Then also we talk about in an organization, in a cooperative, maybe it will be good to get everybody seated together and to talk about our personal limits. So it's not only yourself recognizing your personal limits in loud voice, which is also important and it's good to exteriorize it, but it also gives you the idea of which are the limits of the people you have around you. So you get to know your partners better, you get to know your colleagues, and therefore you get to know where you are and then place yourself towards this organization. And okay, what else? Yeah, then we talk about information. Information is very important since we are not all in the same point. Handle documents and information for everybody that works in the cooperative can help, like concepts of what is harassment, what is violence, what is crossing limits, whatever we feel we need to talk about, to write it down and to give it to everybody can set a base of concepts in which we can communicate with each other in an equal basis. Yeah, then we talk about maybe CoopCycle could have a group of people as an international organization that will be like ready to support people from the cooperatives of CoopCycle who is going through any kind of process with abuse, harassment, whatever, that they have an organization which is from CoopCycle they can reach to and say, hey, in my organization I'm going through this or I'm going through the other, or hey, as a cooperative we have this problem, what should we do? Can you help us? So we are not alone in this, because one of the things that came up a lot during the meeting was like, you need to have the strength and the trust to talk openly with your partners. So maybe having an extra group of people may help you to bring these things down. And yeah, and that was everything we talked about. Something else?
No, yo creo que todo...
Thank you. To the whole
Lo
group.
único que no has dicho, creo que, bueno, has dicho prácticamente todo. Se ha hablado también de la importancia de abordar las bromas sexistas y tal y cual, pero también se ha dicho que no siempre hay una evolución lineal entre la broma y el acto, que a veces son las personas que menos bromas hacen o mejor lenguaje tienen, las que también pueden...
Yeah.
Que esto pasa mucho en contextos de economía social y solidaria.
Yeah. An important thing is that at some point we talk about sexist jokes, and I don't know, someone bring it up and it went in there, and then someone else came with the idea that sometimes is the people who has very inclusive language and people who is very polite and very feminist, the ones that are actually be more violent and more hard towards non-male couriers or colleagues rather than the ones that are making jokes. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we have to be aware, because we talk about a lot about what happens if your friend is pointed out, if someone comes and points out your friend. Maybe your friend is a very good guy, he's super polite, he's always very respectful with everything, but he crossed a line. What happens there? What do we do there? So that's why we talk about having a protocol, and we talk about talking about our limits, and maybe having an external group that can help us. Because sometimes it's not only what we see, it's also what is under the surface, what really hurt us. And that was all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick summary about what we have talked in the third group, in the third mixed group, I would say. The topic was like how we organize our task in the COP and our cooperatives, or what tasks do we value more than others, and yeah. So I must begin saying that this group were composed mostly by cis male. So we didn't have so many exchanges of experience. It was more like about questioning and about to realizing certain things. So I would say, but in one hand, so for me the discussion went from one topic, like from one extreme, I would say, to the other. So there was this consent about that we cannot escape from reality. So we came like from a very masculinized, okay, masculinized environment. Sorry. Sometimes I'm trying to say like Spanish words in English. I don't know if they work or not. So masculinized environment that is this professional sector that is logistic. And also another colleagues were pointing out this this male environment about cycling as the basement or the scenario where we where our cooperatives are grown or are inserted in. So there is like a social reality we cannot escape somehow, and so it's not about. So when we achieve, when we question at ourselves, like, oh, okay, how we organize ourselves, there's always going to be a tendency where we are going to be less representative, like people that are not cis male. So this is like something that we cannot escape for. On the other hand, or at least the exchange that we had, that I have to insist, the group was composed in the majority of a cis male. Apparently, at the beginning, we weren't very aware of having like at least intentionally different about tasks. But also we did like make like a few appointments about how sometimes it could be a coincidence between two groups of women and non-binary people doing more often some certain task that also can be influenced by cultural difference. So even that we may come from a different background, that I would say like other people in the society, so maybe we are like a people that tend to pay more attention to this kind of things, is always this tension between what we want to do and what our professional sector looks like. So, sorry, I'm going to read a little bit because I forgot half of it. So yes. Also, we talk a little bit about what we value more. Do we value like being the most fast on the bicycle to more efficiency? This was not really a topic, like, because we were talking about, okay, is it more fast or is more like planning good the routes what makes the difference? So it also like it was like well, I was really glad like seeing that we had like different experience in our different cups. And also it came to the topic, this the age issue or the gap issue, because it's not the same like having like like a young 19 years old boy or a 19 years old girl than having like someone older. Like, so this is always going to make also a difference. And yeah, and also like Diane also pointed out what it means also to look like exotic, or also having like this two discriminate ways of being discriminated by a woman and by a non-white person. And yeah, so a little bit of the resume of this is that, okay, we cannot really change what is happening, but we do saw the importance on having or to promoting more non-cis male as a referent in our world. Because even that we cannot do anything to change the masculinized world or queer world, we can try to make it more visible for people that are non-cis male person. So I think this was like the key of everything. Is like, okay, we cannot change the world. Like, we can change our mind, we can change our environment, we can reflect on what we are doing, but the most important thing is about action, I will say in this case, is trying to promote this referent. Like, okay, this space, even in the, I don't know how to say this word in English, but in Spanish we'll say like imaginario colectivo, is like in our mind and our imaginary collective value.
Collective imagination.
Yeah, it is associated to like male's work. We can change this little by little by promoting more, like, I don't know, through social media or through this kind of stuff, other referents that are not just cis male. And so this can impact also in the way that this kind of profile of people will approach and will willing to join the collective. And also in the future, like, to make more equal how the tasks are distributed somehow. So yeah, I think this is a summary of what we have talked. So thank you.
No, we didn't start good. Se me ha roto. Okay. Okay, in the non-mixed group, we were really a small group. We were 4 people, but because I think because it was this, we didn't actually have a topic, a question like you, but we wanted in somehow to gather the information we had in the same group, but more participative this morning. And we want to try to continue and extract something useful from there. And actually we've done that, even in 4 people. So we start observing the importance to work in a more sensitive environment about gender perspective and gender topics, and to work with people that is prepared to face these topics. So not just, oh yes, it's interesting, but then maybe most of the time are women or non-cis people that have to bring up topics inside the cooperative. I remember... Cis male. Yeah. What I said? Che ha dicho? Cis people. And I remember when I was working in La Pájara, I was the only one proposing all the time to start the assembly asking each other, how do you feel? How we are today? Okay, let's try to say more words than good or not good. We have more vocabulary. So we came up with the idea that actually we had already, but we underlined this idea to have a formation, an internal formation, a small formation about gender perspective inside work environment for everyone in CoopCycle. So every cooperative and every person inside CoopCycle. We were talking about a really small formation, like maybe 10 hours or 15 hours, but just general, because when we meet each other again, we need to know that we know what we are talking about, not repeating, starting from the bottom all the time. And then even a more deeper and a more complete formation, but it's not mandatory. It's not for everyone. It's just for people that wants to dive a little bit more in these topics. And PWIL, it seems like they are willing to prepare this formation for us. Maybe it can be, if we have more ideas or more people or more organization that can help us with this, it can be good. I think it's gonna be part of the protocol. And I want just to repeat 1 second the differences between protocol and manifesto. We've been working this year in the gender committee we created last year in Liège. We created this committee, and the committee has been working during all this year about the importance to create manifesto and protocol. Manifesto is an exposition of needs and ideas. So what we need, what do we feel we need in our environment at work, and the protocol is what we can do about situations that can show up, that can happen all the time, maybe from the small situation to the big situation that can happen. So PWIL said, PWIL, not PWIL, but yes, we were talking about the importance to have these two legs inside CoopCycle, so create them, and that's the meaning why we are here on these 2 days. So the idea is collect information from as much people as possible to create these two texts, and then agree on that. Okay. And then this is a proposal from my side and from PWIL side, that this manifesto and this protocol, it would be interesting to put them online, because of this thing that if we work maybe in another field, in another completely different job, but you feel you need something like a protocol inside your job because you feel like it's important and useful, then it's easier if you have examples online of people that already have done that, and you can copy, you can use them, you can change them. But for me, it's very important because it's what I've done this year to come here with something already written. I need examples of people that already have done that. So I think it's very important to share this, and I think it's gonna come back to us, not maybe in a money way, so we don't sell it, manifest and protocol, but share it for free, because it's gonna create virtuous circle. Eh? What? Culture, yes, exactly. And yes, okay, this was something of the beginning, but I bring it now. The importance to create safer spaces. It means most of the time we talk about this until now inside CoopCycle. Many reactions were like, what are you talking about? We don't have any women in our cooperative, so we don't need any protocol, and we don't need anything. And the question is why female people or non-cis people, they wanted to go to work in a place that is not caring about people, is not caring about spaces, and is not caring about anything. It's just, let's try to do it somehow. So I think that if we try to create more safer places with formation, with protocol, with manifesto, then it's probably we will have more non-cis people coming to work with us and to share our spaces. Yeah, 1 second.
I have a question. Protocol is the same than code of conduct?
That? Then?
No, like a protocol is when something happened, like an action happened, and then you need to act. Because like some assault or some aggression or something happened in this thing that you mentioned is more like how to behave in a good way, you know? Or in a respectful way.
Protocol is, for example, the red button. So which tools we can develop from CoopCycle, either technological, either other ways. Which tool do we have to respond, to make people feel safer in our cooperatives? So which tool? It means a list of tools that we can, I wrote everything, that we can or we can't maybe in some places. It depends a lot. In CoopCycle, everything, it depends about where you are, because it's not the same. Mexico City and Lille, it's completely different. So we have to be very open-minded and try to adjust everything to our reality, actually.
Okay.
Yep.
So maybe we can.
Yeah, no, it's also to keep in mind that we are a federation. We have people inside, but there's also a lot of people outside, and we should take we have the chance to gather sometimes to have big talks like this, but we should take into consideration that others can also participate to it, and we should find a way to open this kind of discussion to another sectors and other community. Even the Korea community is pretty big, so it could be really nice to make it wider than just CoopCycle.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we can help, I don't know,
Yeah.
we have to see, to open the discussion.
Yeah.
And
Great.
I think it's not because in your work environment there's no women, no cis male, that there's no harassment or sexual assault. I think it's have to be not women or non-cis male directly, but open generally, because men are assaulted and harassed too. So it applies to everyone, and it's a rule that everybody have to respect, because a woman can harass a man, and a man can harass a.
Yeah, I would say it has different meanings in the social context. But yeah, you're true. But for me, like here, the important thing is in every space that is like a cis male, there's always a risk to have some kind of this gender violence in this context. Normally it's applied against women and trans people and non-binary people, but it also can be applied through men.
A gay male.
Yeah.
He's a cis male, but he's gay.
Let's say that a safer place, it's safer for everyone.
Yeah, it's safer for
No
everyone.
one can complain about a safer place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I missed something.
Okay, maybe we can close the space.
And the protocol, sorry, just
Yeah.
one thing that I'm thinking, the protocol also can say what happens if one female woman or one gay worker, that is going to one place with in which the client the client will insult you or will do it one aggression. The protocol as a collective methodology or methodology thinking from everybody of the cooperative can say, no, you don't need to support this, you can go without leave the packet and you can go. And in this situation make clear what is the attitude that everybody can do, no? Because we saw that in a specific situation, the problem is that we don't know what to do when in one cooperative there are one intern tension specific in gender issue, nobody knows what to do. When a female worker or a gay worker that is confront don't know what to do because you are thinking that you maybe can do something negative to your cooperative. So making clear what can and what cannot do maybe is make more strong the cooperative, no? And I think that is the same if we don't, or CoopCycle and the federation don't have this protocol, normalize the situation that female and gays and trans are living in the normal society. And I think that if CoopCycle is doing something special and trying to create and socialize one application, making really something special, why not to work further and work also in this situation that make special the people who is working with CoopCycle, no? So, and open this to all the society, I think that is positive and will transform the negative attitudes that female workers and other genders are feeling, I think.
So, yeah, and also just to add what you said, and also linked what Owen said, I think we have been able to do this meeting because, yeah, we are organized as a structure, but we also, like, the career community doesn't end here for sure. So, like, we had the opportunity to do this because we are usually organized, but we also want to have this discussion open to, like, the rest of the career collective. So if you don't, I don't know if there's any question, otherwise we can start with the open forum, or, I mean, somebody wants to say something before closing this?
Come on.
Okay, so thank you.